What's going on, Vape Nation? Job 131 is back, and today I'm on beautiful Georgian Bay fishing, but I thought I'd take a little bit of time to review Ivogo's Evil Monk RDA. So I'm going to do what I normally do, go into the zoomed in view, and after that I'm going to vape it and tell you what I like and what I don't like, so please keep watching. Alright, so here we are in the zoomed in view for Ivogo's Evil Monk RDA, non-post design. So that's Ivogo hologram. Flip it over to the back. Non-post design Evil Monk. 316 stainless steel and some more information. So I'm just going to open it up. And we'll take a look at what's in the box. What's in the box? So besides your Evil Monk RDA, you do get some extras. You do get... Let's see, an extra O-ring, couple tiny-ass Allen keys, 510 drip adapter, some extra grub screws, and some weird little pipes that we'll talk about in a bit. So let's go into, or actually, this is your, you get your Ivogo RDA, Evil Monk. So yeah, let's take it apart and go over it piece by piece. Starting with the drip tip that it came with, it looks to be plastic or Delrin. The bore is pretty wide, but not the widest. You can see that that is actually threaded right there, where you thread it into the top cap. Again, same thing with the 510 drip tip adapter. It does have threading right there, and you just take it and screw it in if you want to use your standard 510 drip tip or standard 510 drip tip. Forgot to remove the top cap, but you can see threads are pretty smooth. Machining looks to be pretty good. That's stainless steel. Threads on the inside for the drip tip or drip tip adapter. Got some knurling for grip, and the screws to screw it into your airflow ring. Everything seems to be good. Airflow control ring, stainless steel as well. You can see some airflows. 4 different airflow options, or 4 airflow options. Threading is good as well, and machining on this is pretty good. You can see the holes, they're real bad scratches, but there are some. Finally, you have your deck, your non-post design. So you got 4 air holes over here, and you have your positive contacts and your negative contacts there. So you could rock a quad coil, dual coil in this. And deck depth looks to be about maybe 2.5, 3 millimeters. Probably more like 2.5. So there's your grub screws in there where you tighten your coils. Airflow control ring, there's one O-ring over there. Flipping into the bottom, Ivogo Design 0361 is the serial number. And that's a silver-plated copper pin, I believe. So, you do also get these little pipes. I'm not really too sure what they're for. The only thing I found that it fits in would be the airflow holes on the side of the base, right here. They just kind of fit into there, but they don't stay in there. Even when you're like trying to put them on with the with your cap, it doesn't stay, and it's weird. So if anybody knows what those are for, please let me know. There are no instructions included on the Evil Monk to say what those things are for, but you do also get some Allen keys, and they are the smallest things I've ever seen. No, well, not the smallest, but you can tell that's a standard size I compared it to, and that's pretty tiny. So let's just loosen up all these grub screws, just so that we're ready to build ring. And you basically try and line it up with the airflow holes. Having a little bit trouble. You can see that where you tighten them, I'm actually mixed up. Let me adjust that. So yeah, so you have 4 air holes, and you can adjust that, and then you screw your top cap on. The threads are pretty smooth, like I mentioned. And finally, you screw in your drip tip. But make sure you have it completely flush, because, well, you don't want to screw up the threads like I am right now. So, I'll give it a couple more tries. Almost there, buddy. I don't want to jack up the thread, so let's try this one more time. And I think I'm going to get it right here. Yep. So yeah, that's basically it. That is your Evil Monk RDA in the zoomed in view. So let's go to a shot of the build, or what build I'm going to put in, and how to kind of put it together. So this is the build I'm putting in. It's a 26 gauge and 34 gauge fuse Clapton. You can see I already put one post in. There's a positive in the middle and your negatives right there, and I'm just going to attach it in an angle. I'm only going dual coil here, but you can see that the leads on these coils are very, very short. It's because you don't want that want it to be too high off the deck, and also because it is a smaller RDA. So yeah, that's, you can see that one's a little bit better than the one I put in there already. But yeah. So to put it in, just put one in the negative, one in the positive. Holes aren't the biggest, but again, you can see this is a 26 gauge fuse Clapton with 34 gauge, so that seems to fit all right. I don't know how big you can really get, but this seems to be okay. So just get your Allen key after you hop it in. Just make sure you're making contact. Just tighten up those Allen key or the grub screws. Okay, that's that, and then you can kind of adjust it so it sits in your Addy properly, or in the Evil Monk. Okay, that's a jacked up coil, but it'll do for now. And you can see the height off the deck shouldn't be that high, but yeah, this is the build I'm putting in. As you can see, coming out at 0.1819 ohms. 0.18. You might drop down to 1.85 or possibly 1.7 after I heat it up and kind of squeeze them together. But yeah, that's the build I'm putting in. So keep watching. So I actually decided to change off because that build was a little bit too hot. So this is 0.26 ohms, just a regular 24 gauge. I think it's like 8 wraps or 9 wraps. I decided to switch out. So yeah, let's put some let's vape it, and I'll tell you what I like and what I don't like in your next shot. Alright, that was a zoomed in view for Ivogo's Evil Monk RDA. What I like about it is definitely, I like the small size. I mean, definitely it's more compact than most drippers that are out there. I also like the drip tip. It's Delrin, and it's just about the right size for this dripper. I like the innovative post design, or no post design, so it's easy to build on. That's another plus. It definitely packs in the flavor whenever you pull. Vapor production's okay, but I don't think it's meant to be like a vapor beast, or, you know, chucking clouds or anything like that, but it's pretty good. Now, what I don't like, actually, one other thing I like is construction. Everything's pretty much, it's made pretty well. No real issues as far as build quality or machining quality. It's pretty good.
But what I don't like, for me personally, I think it's a negative. It's sub 0.2 ohms. I think it's way too hot, but that's mainly because it's a small deck or small top cap, so there's not a lot of room for it to cool down. So you can't really go, well, for me personally, I can't really go minus 0.2 ohms. What I don't like as well is the finickiness of the build, or when you build on it. I mean, it's easy to build on if you're a beginner. All you do, or not a beginner, but just for anybody, you just pop it into those holes and then use the Allen key, and that's easy enough. But as far as like when you drip it, if you're dripping, you have to be careful about the way you wick it, and also as far as over dripping. And you got to be a little bit too careful because of the way the air holes are designed in the deck. There's no ledge or anything like that. I also don't like the fact that it's a very shallow deck, so that means you're gonna have to drip a little bit more than I guess what you'd be used to with maybe like, I don't know, Twisted Messes or what have you. Also, I don't know, it's okay. I would recommend this for possibly beginners, but at the same time, I mean, it's probably easier to just get a Derringer or something like that if you're looking, or a Wotofo Freak Show Mini, just because, you know, it's a deeper deck, so you can hold more juice. I don't like this airflow thing. I don't like the fact that I gotta drip a lot, so to keep it going. I mean, you're dripping anyway, I guess, but yeah, as far as the finickiness, it's very easy to over drip on this, and then you have it just kind of flowing out of the air holes on the sides. So would I buy this? Well, I was actually sent this for free from Ivogo to review. I don't know if I'd buy it. I like the fact that it's a good first effort, and to some people they like it because the flavor definitely is good. But I mean, if you're new to drippers, this might not be the one for you, only because you're gonna over drip, for sure. And the fact that it's very, like, you gotta drip a lot in order to, like, I gotta refill again. So yeah, overall, I don't know if I'd buy this again, unfortunately. Flavor is there, so I mean, if you're looking for flavor and don't mind dripping all the time, and being very careful with the way you drip, then this might be for you. But for me, I'd have to pass for now. I'd like to see a second version with possibly the air hole on the deck elevated slightly, like kind of like a Kennedy, where you have some posts, so that at least it wouldn't, you know, it's less hard or less easy to drip into and start flowing out the sides and stuff. Possibly a deeper deck as well, just to hold more juice. But yeah, that's my feelings on it. Other than that, this is Job 131 saying keep your wicks wet, and thanks for watching.